Hello everyone and welcome to Age Friendly Chelmsford. This is Debbie Suriani. I'm the director of the Chelmsford Senior Center. I'm also the co-chair of the Age Friendly Committee in town. And I'm here with my co-host, Lisa Maroney, who's the Business Development Director in town.
Hi, Debbie. Here
Good
we
to
are
see
again.
you again.
Yes,
Here we
it's
are.
always a good time.
And our special guest today is Colleen Normandy, who's a staff member at the Senior Center, and she also runs the Social Day program and the Caregiver Support Group. So we're here to talk a little bit about those programs today. Thanks for coming, Colleen.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you
Hello,
here.
everybody.
Yeah.
So I always say the Social Day program is the best kept secret in Chelmsford. I think we all say that at the Senior Center. We also call it our happy place. So let's give people a little idea of what it is.
Mm-hmm. So it's a social model day program, and it's open 5 days a week. From 8:30 to 3, and we engage clients from Chelmsford and surrounding communities throughout the day in a number of activities, sort of meeting folks at wherever they might be in the aging spectrum. And just hopefully, the goal really is quite simple, and that's to give them a good day, a light mood throughout the day. Again, using a number of activities, interventions, physical component. So it is a lot of fun, and we've enjoyed several years of having a lot of fun in there. So
I can attest to that. It's in the Senior Center, and it's the wall to my office is the other side is the Social Day, and I hear a lot of fun, and I love it. Keeps my day fresh, and I always hear singing. I always hear stomping around with exercise and all kinds of laughter, and so we always go down and visit and make sure that we're part of that too. But it is an inclusive model, so it is part of the Senior Center. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about who goes to the Social Day program.
So typically folks that come to us, most of them are from Chelmsford. Usually the person might be alone, with very limited support out in the community. But to go into a big building like the Senior Center is overwhelming. So that might be one type of client who does better in a structured setting. We also have folks who have memory issues as well. Generally early stage, to mid-stage, folks that still can enjoy themselves, still can interact and take something away with them. So those are the types of clients that typically, come to our day program.
Mm-hmm. For me, it sounds like they're high functioning, mm-hmm. Very enjoyable to be around, and you're adding value to their day and giving them a purpose to be included and be involved versus stay home and just kind of be amongst their own thoughts and their own environment. But having a program that's adaptable for people at all different levels, mm-hmm. and like you had just said, making their day fun and judgment-free zone and all of those things and all those activities that really bring laughter and joy and purpose and it's really important. It's really important, the program that you do.
Thank you. I mean, we like folks to leave. They may not remember every single thing they did with us during the day, but they leave smiling as if they recognize that it was a good place for them, that they enjoyed it, and that they want to come back.
Yeah.
And my staff and I leave the same way pretty much every day. We kind of feel like families and caregivers are sharing their loved ones with us. It's a huge responsibility, and it is up to us to make sure that, to the best of our ability, mm-hmm. that we give them that good day.
Yeah. I know my mother would come home with little art projects and little things that I like, oh my gosh, I got them on my fridge, like when my kids were small, but she loved it. It was fantastic. Sometimes I would go and join her a little bit to be a part of that. So it's, like you had said, it really affects, like the families are more comforted as well that their loved one is having a good day, and not distracted or worried, you know.
It is.
All
It's
of those types
respite
of
driven.
things. Yes,
It's
yeah.
really the respite part of it is more about giving, in addition to the client, but it's more about giving the family or the caregiver, whoever is involved in taking care of this individual. It's certainly to give them a break.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it's a big responsibility. We don't take it lightly. So
Yeah.
we're the lucky ones, we always say, because we get to be a part of their lives at this stage. And that's the philosophy we carry.
Sometimes my
through.
mother would call it going to work. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to work
We
today,"
certainly have-
because she felt that she was the social engagement, you know, and if she wasn't there, people would miss her. And
Well,
and
that's true, though.
That's what they make friends, and she's like, oh, I got to go to work today, and
Yeah.
she would really look forward to
Yeah.
it, and so.
Yeah, we try to stoke
Yes.
the same thing with our clients.
Right.
You know, they are missed when they're not with us, and
Yeah.
you know, it can be a joyful ride. Not every day is
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
sunshine and flowers, but most days are, and that's the takeaway. you know.
So on that note, too, who would not be a good fit for the social day?
So for social day, it's a non-medical model. And what that means is we don't pass meds, we don't take vital signs. If there's an injury or illness, it's an immediate 911, and we make sure that the individual is safe. For folks who you know, are beyond sort of the stages that are safe, somebody who's exit seeking. You know, taking a left instead of a right out of the bathroom is not a big deal, but if somebody's constantly at the door, I need to go, has that kind of nervous, sort of hyperactive energy, it's probably not going to work. We are an open door facility. We are not locked. So, you know, and if somebody enters the program and is quite physically challenged, that they might need a lift or something. Also, again, we're not nurses' aides, we're not home health aides. We certainly try to accommodate as many folks as we can. And some folks do age in place and they might need a little bit more help than they did the day they started. But typically you know, again, if somebody is a flight risk, you know, it's not a safe environment, and safety is the first thing we look at.
Absolutely. So one of the best parts about this program, other than the incredible staff, the wonderful volunteers that help us, sometimes we even have teenager volunteers, in fact, very often teenage volunteers come and help us out as well, a lot of senior volunteers, people of all ages, actually. And but then also the cost is right. So because I'm the manager of, you're the manager, I'm the executive director, but so in terms of budgeting, what we do is we have money from, it's private pay or it's reimbursed through age span. So tell folks how that kind of works.
Okay. So we have a contract with Age Span, and what they do is they assign or allocate funding based on eligibility guidelines that they have. So every single person who makes an inquiry into the program is always referred to Age Span, because there are a number of programs underneath their umbrella that the individual may qualify for, not just ours, but certainly the funding mechanism that we receive from Age Span does allow families, you know, to maybe have their loved one stay with us. You know, and it's quite a benefit. Sometimes they will call me and say, okay, we'll pay, you know, 3 days a week for so-and-so. If she wants to go 5, family or client can self-pay the other 2. So they do a very good job in mixing and matching as well, and really trying to, you know, stay within the guidelines that they're given to, you know, foster eligibility.
Yeah. And if it's private pay, we're still at $40.
$40 for a full day
For a full
and $20 for half day. And half day typically is 8:30, we open our doors, and the client might stay till noon. They have that lunch. We serve lunch at 11:30 in the big hall, it's really nice for folks. And then my afternoon people typically come in at 11:30. So 11:30 to 12:15, we have overlap, morning folks, afternoon folks. And the afternoon folks stay till 3, and then they go home from there. And then we have several folks that just do full days, that might live with a younger working family, working outside the home, so they're with us full days.
How does the transportation work? Does your facility provide transportation, or how does that work?
We do. There's a transportation coordinator at the senior center, and that's Janet. And so when we have a client that's referred to us, if they're in Chelmsford, I'll typically refer to her as well to see if they will qualify for a ride.
Okay.
And that usually involves spatial stuff and timing. How many drivers are out on the road, but that's also very, most of the clients who are from Chelmsford take the Chelmsford vans, both in the early morning and the afternoon home. The surrounding towns, we've partnered with a few of them as well, and because we're kind of lucky, we don't have social day in other towns nearby except for Andover. So we've had a number of towns willing to bring their folks from their town to our program as well. So that's been a huge benefit. Yeah.
And all of the drivers are from the senior center. They're our drivers. So
wow.
It's like the program extends into the van.
Yeah.
So when they come in the morning, all of a sudden you hear, 6 people coming off the van singing, and they've got a song in their hearts, and the
my
van
gosh.
driver's got them singing, doing something, or they're telling jokes, or they're doing something.
Oh yeah, we're
So,
very lucky.
Some people have a longer drive because Chelmsford is quite a
Yeah.
long town, but even if they're
fun.
some of the families are like, leave her on the bus, she's happy, she loves the ride, and then they get to see different areas of the town, and they're singing, and
Yeah. Wow.
And to
amazing. They
put
are
a
really
plug
great.
in for those drivers, they're out there
wonderful.
first. They see our clients first. And so they're very in touch with, situations at home, or this one doesn't look right, or if somebody doesn't seem right, or if somebody doesn't feel well, or, they're wonderful about coming right in and, in a confidential way, of course, just saying, I picked so-and-so up, and he was, I had to wait 10 minutes. He doesn't seem like himself, so they're key in helping us keep folks safe because they see them before I do. They will pick them up before we see the clients, so.
Definitely, the whole staff are part of the outreach team.
Yep.
For sure, even the custodial staff and people in the kitchen, everybody's, we keep an eye out for people. And even the volunteers are like, I haven't seen so-and-so today. Can we call her,
Yeah.
So it's nice that way. So the other thing is, I think it's really surprising. Some people go and they don't have dementia at all or any memory issues.
Right.
Some folks might have depression. Some folks might have anxiety. Some folks just don't get along with their daughter-in-law that they have to live with, or or really are a social person and want to be involved in a structured day of activity all day. So tell just a few more minutes of maybe a few of the activities that you would do in a typical day.
So we combined physical. We have an instructor who comes in twice a week from one of the local gyms, and that takes place twice a day. We like to get at least 30 minutes of physical movement in. The big game that we really like is Jingo, and my coworker Deb Barry took a page many years ago from the schools, and we got on the school's the website, and so now we're at the point where she can create a Jingo game, and it's kind of like playing Jeopardy on steroids. So again, it involves retrieving an answer,
advertisement.
finding it, calling it out. It's like a 3-step process. So we love that, and I think we have maybe 125 varieties of that game because if the clients request a certain subject, she can go and plug questions in and create a game for them that they want. So that's a big part too. And then we have standard stuff, we have Pokeno. We don't do bingo as much. We do Cardo. We will, again, the goal is really to kind of just sort of meet the person where they're at and just, we want them to leave feeling like they've had fun, but they've enjoyed some success as well. So the volunteers, they're integral with that. I mean, the volunteers, we couldn't really run our program without them. That's another plug for them. But
Yeah.
I mean, they just,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Are you looking for more volunteers?
Yes, I mean, again, volunteers, tax rebate sends us a lot of volunteers, and then we have students. But once the schools go back, obviously, we usually like to run with 4 volunteers in the morning plus the 3 staff, and then anywhere from 5 to 6 in the afternoon.
And you're a year-round program? Yeah, all year? Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We are. So, but it's a fun day. We try to keep it moving throughout. A little bit of downtime here and there, but not a whole lot. People typically go home tired.
And even the downtime, they have their own folders of their specific interests. Some people really love to come in and do a sheet of math.
Yep.
Because they want to keep their brain going.
Yep.
Or, like they do a lot of brain games. They do a lot of sing-alongs and a lot of things to keep like the mood up and light and happy, but also like stimulating and interesting. Even if some people are nonverbal, they take it all in, and there's someone next to them helping them to engage, in
Yeah.
a meaningful way.
That's
So I
fantastic.
it's
Yeah,
the kind of
that's
place.
fantastic.
If I had a family member, knock on wood, that needed that, in a second, I'm just like,
Yeah.
just roll me down there when I'm ready to retire and tell me it's my new
There you go.
office.
There you go.
Anyways, so thank you so much, Colleen.
You're welcome. Thank
And your
you.
wonderful staff and volunteers that make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have another thing that
Can
you're
I
in
put a
charge
plug in at this moment?
Please do.
So my domain,
Yeah.
as you know, with Age Friendly Chelmsford, is civic participation.
Okay.
Which is volunteerism. And employment.
Yeah.
Employment for the older worker. So that's why I'm kind of
Yep.
asking about volunteerism. Working with the library to bring back the volunteer fair next year. So we'll be expanding
Nice.
that. Yep.
Looks like March, the end of March likely.
March, yep, I believe so, yes. So that'll be coming out fairly soon. And my employment aspect, tomorrow is my Age Strong Job Fair. It's our 3rd one, and we're hosting it at Town Hall
Nice.
this year.
Nice.
So we're sold out with about 25 employers, most from Chelmsford. And tomorrow, October 4th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Town Hall in the gymnasium. And we've been really making some great strides in employment for the older workers. It's been a popular event, and we're looking to also add on other types of recruitment events at Town Hall because it's been going so well. It's centrally located, easy to get to, and things like that. So we're really expecting it to be another successful event, and always happy to engage with job seekers that are looking for local employment, as well as employers in town that are looking to either hire locally, but maybe some people are wanting to just do a per diem or a part-time or a career change, all those types of things. And I'm partnered with Mass Hire. They
Okay,
are an
yeah.
employment agency at the state level.
Excellent.
And our region is located in Lowell, so they've been a fantastic partner. And just kind of want to put that plug in there before we transition on to the next topic.
And if you're interested in being a van driver for us, we're going to be looking for a
Yes.
new one.
Okay.
And I'll be at that age-friendly job fair as well. One of our employees in the Social Day program, I think, is maybe our oldest town employee, perhaps. I'm not sure for sure. But we have a staff member who's 91
Oh,
in
yes.
our, in our Social Day program. She's a sub, but she's wonderful.
She has eyes in the back of her head, and I
amazing.
am grateful every single
So we
day.
love Nikki.
She's
amazing.
awesome. I smile when I think about her
great
because
staff person.
she can run circles around me any given day.
Yep.
And she is 91.
Yep.
And she does not miss a trick.
I know, and it's amazing.
It is, and having that level, having that individual there who can kind of relate to our older citizens is nice as well. You know, because it's not always, the younger folks. Sometimes it's nice to have an older person you can kind of
Relatable.
reminisce with. Exactly. Go down memory lane or whatever.
She's wonderful.
So yeah.
Good stuff.
So another thing that you do, Colleen, at the senior center with April Hunt
Yep.
as a co-leader is the caregiver support group. So it's the Alzheimer's caregiver support group.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I've had the privilege of co-facilitating that for many years now, and it is, we meet twice a month. It is still virtual. People seem to feel more comfortable if they have a loved one at home. They don't have to leave their home to go to a support group. So it seems to work for the group that we have. And April and I co-facilitate the group, and it is for caregivers who need to just talk. It's an anonymous group. We try to keep, we try to preserve that as much as we can. It's oftentimes folks are sharing ideas with each other. A lot of times folks are struggling. We try to offer them some guidance, emotional support. What's really nice with that group is a lot of times families might connect with each other after hours and sort of see each other through to the finish end or the end zone. And it's a traditional support group. We try to involve everyone to kind of give us an update on their current status or what they'd like to talk about. And we do, sometimes it goes up to 2 hours, depending on how many people are there that day. And it's very humbling. And there's people out there that are so strong that they don't even know how strong they are. Like we leave and we're like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that, or the family has, sometimes people just don't realize they have it in them. And sometimes you have to stoke it a little bit here and there for them to understand that. And certainly the referral part, the families share with each other what doctor they like, what hospital they prefer, where to go for this, and that part is really nice to see, because that just, again, a lot of these families are much more in tune with resources on the ground than myself or my coworker are.
Yeah. Now, do you have the whole range of spouses, children?
Yep.
Do you have people who are friends with other, with people with dementia who sometimes go?
We do. It's primarily spouses. Sometimes it's a neighbor. I don't might know what to do with this lady and I want to help her and her family's never around or, whatever. Sometimes it's adult children. Yeah. Again, they may be working, trying to put pieces together to keep their loved one in the community, which is challenging. So again, we try to act as a source of support for them and, hopefully help them to sort of find their way. So we try to be as mindful as we can. And again, the biggest takeaway is really trying to get folks to open up so that we can offer them some support, so that we can suggest, places to go, agencies to visit, and have other folks also help them.
Yeah. So how do they register and receive a Zoom link, or how
Yes.
do they
Yep.
do that? Okay.
Yeah, they call the senior center, and either myself or April Hunt will take the calls, or Elena Deere, our outreach worker, and she'll filter it to one of us who will then speak, on the phone, set aside times, and talk to that family member or that person. And then we, if they're amenable to joining us, we send the Zoom link, and they can just jump right in when they're, or telephone link, they can join in. So.
And is it just Chelmsford
Nope.
residents, or no?
Nope,
Just people that
it's-
need
yeah,
help. And
sometimes
resources
people-
and direction.
Yep, sometimes folks from the day program or April's companion program might log on or might jump in, or other senior centers as well. And again, some families that are working can't make it, so we try to offer them in the phone interview at least other groups that we know of that might meet at night or something. So again, we just do our best to make sure we're offering that level of support.
Remind me what the companion program is? Is that where it's like a visit?
So the companion program is another respite-driven program at the senior center, whereas we hire folks to go into people's homes to assist them while their caregivers, need time off or need to be, or somebody who might be very lonely, isolated, and make sure that they have somebody stopping in to visit them on a regular basis.
So you're
Again,
offering
not
layers, many different layers to accommodate people that have a variety of challenges that they're managing.
And I mean, I just feel so blessed that the town supports this type of program because we're providing support to people at a level that, other people just couldn't afford. They don't need to have to afford like the higher level care if they can come to us. But then if they do need that care, then we can assist them and refer them to that. We're not a business-driven, program, so we're just here to provide support and help for whatever might be the best thing for that person. So if it's not us, we're not going to sell you on our program because,
Right.
It's not about making the money. We just want to make enough money to pay those bills, make sure we pay the staff well, and make sure that it's a safe program and enjoyable. And so it's really wonderful.
So how many people are in the social day program and on average the caregiver program?
So for Social Day, we currently have 50 people registered. The allowances in the room are, we can have up to 26 clients a day, and we've pretty much been hitting that for a while now. The companion program, her numbers are up as well.
We expanded it this previous year, so
Yes.
we're closer to like 18 or 20 companions now.
Yep.
So, we have
Wow.
a fair amount. And most of those are seniors. The people who we've hired are retired social workers. Retired nurses, retired teachers, retired whatever. Folks who are very capable and have a lot to give and are just amazing and are just a great part of our team. But they're hired from us as a subcontractor, and then they work 2 hours a week to 40 hours a week, depending on the needs of a family, and we match them up with the family and the personalities, and who is suitable for the person's needs, and they become just wonderful companions. They become almost friends, although we're very careful to. I think the biggest issue is just boundaries and saying like, okay, you can't do everything for this person, though. I know you want to. You have wonderful intentions, and you really want to help so much. But we're paying you for this.
It's really wraparound services.
Yeah, and
Really,
cutting their
you
cat's
really are
toenails is not
doing
part
it
of
well.
that.
Or buying them CD players and then asking me if it's okay.
But they have wonderful, amazing hearts, and they're
They
just
do.
very skilled people and part of our team. So we're blessed to have them as well. And and we're so blessed to have you, Colleen. How many years have you been working for the town?
15
15 years town. She's licensed social worker.
licensed social workers.
Has tremendous skill set
Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
and consults on our companion program too, so does so much to help us.
Yeah.
Staff, as a full team, if we see somebody who in need, we just know that we can send them to Colleen, and she'll let us know what services might be available. If Elena's not around, or if we think that they might be benefited from the programs there. But I just love it. I love visiting it. So thank you so much for everything you do, Colleen.
Well, thank you for allowing me. As I said, it's a privilege. In addition to a job, we think of it as a privilege, my team and I.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. We'll see you at the job fair, everybody.